So you've taken a break from your PhD. Maybe it was a few weeks, a month, a couple of months, maybe it was a year or more. And now you're staring at your laptop. You feel like you've forgotten everything that you knew about your project. And anxiety. Every time you think about getting back into it, you find a reason to put it off just a little bit longer. And underneath all that, you've got this creeping sense of guilt that you've wasted too much time, that you've messed everything up, that maybe you're just not cut out for this after all. None of that is true. You can get back into it and it's all going to be fine. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Yardley, and I help PhD students finish their doctorates without losing their minds or their friends. And today, I want to help you take that step back into your PhD after you've taken a break. Without the guilt spiral, without the endless procrastination, without the fear that you've ruined everything. Because you know what? Taking a break is completely normal. So many PhD researchers take breaks from their doctorates and they get back into it and they finish, and you can finish too, so let's get on with it. Taking a break does not mean that you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you don't care about your PhD. It doesn't mean you're a failure. Life happens, illness happens, family happens, jobs, burnout, grief, children, relocations, mental health roller coasters. All of that is part of being human. Nobody goes through a PhD in one smooth, unbroken line. They just don't. Everyone has pauses. Everybody has moments where they have to step back or step away from it or pivot towards something else for a while. Some of these things are chosen, some of them aren't, some of them just happen to us. So we need to start off by getting rid of this notion of the perfect PhD journey, the perfect PhD progress map. Because PhD progress, I think we've all got this vision of the perfect PhD journey that kind of looks a bit like this. But actually, it looks like this wiggly back and forth, up and down kind of path. That is way more accurate. And when you come back from taking a break from your PhD, your brain kind of plays tricks on you. You tell yourself, I've forgotten everything. I've lost my momentum. I should have worked harder. I should have been more disciplined. I shouldn't have even taken a break. I should have been able to just push through. And all of those shoulds pile up, so they feel heavier than the work that you've got to do. So before we do anything else, I want you to take a breath and remind yourself of these things. You're not starting from zero. You're not behind. You are just in the messy middle of doing something really difficult, something really hard, okay? Right now, coming back to your PhD might feel like standing in front of Mount Everest wearing flip-flops. The mountain is huge, the air is thin, you are unprepared and your feet are getting a bit cold. So don't try and climb the mountain, okay? Just don't do that. Instead, focus on the next little step in front of you. Just the next step, no further. And here's a really practical way to do this. Open up a notebook or a fresh Word document and write down just one of these prompts. Something I really enjoyed reading for my PhD was, the thing I feel really excited about doing in my PhD is, the person I admire most working in my subject area is. Just get your brain talking to itself here. And this is about lowering the bar so far down that you almost trip over it because you don't realise that you started moving forward again. You don't need to restart with a perfect plan. You don't need to restart by writing 1,000 words on your literature review today or entirely restructuring your methodology chapter. Those are huge things, okay? Those are things that nobody should be trying to do on their first day getting back into their PhD work. It's the little things that are going to nudge you forward, okay? It's those little movements, those little shuffles that will get that momentum going. One of the biggest fears that PhD students have got when they're coming back after a break, and many of them have spoken to me about this, is that they're never going to get back to being the PhD student that they were before. The person they were before they took the break, before they had to take the time out. And the thing is, you never will be that person that you were before you took the break, before you took the time out. So stop trying to be the version of you that existed 6 months ago, a year ago, or longer. Things have shifted since then. Things have changed since then. So you need to recognise and honour what your life looks like now, how that life is organised and arranged now, what new things are there that weren't there before, what things that were there before have now gone. So identify this new landscape in which you find yourself. What does it look like? What things are now in that environment that are going to be helpful for your PhD? What things are in that environment that might be challenging, that you're going to have to work your way around or work your way through? So take all of that on board and be super realistic in terms of what you can get done now. So instead of trying to spend an entire weekend working on your PhD, or instead of booking a couple of days off work to work on your PhD and then feeling terrible because you haven't got anything done, try doing this instead. Identify little chunks that you can bite off your PhD. So try skimming through your data for like half an hour. Reread one of the key articles from your literature review. Write one paragraph beginning with some of the sentence templates that I'll put up on the screen right now. And feel free to take a screenshot of these. That's it. Choose perhaps one of those little things to get started with. It can be that simple. That is how you're going to rebuild your stamina, rebuild your momentum. And it's kind of like an athlete coming back to a sport after an injury or after a break. So think of somebody who's getting back into running after an injury. They don't go straight for the marathon. They start off by walking, and then they might add a little bit of running to the walking. And then they'll increase the running, they'll build it up over time. Because if they put too much pressure on themselves, if they try to do too much, their body's just going to go, nope, not playing. So give yourself permission to go slowly. Small, consistent actions will help carry you forwards. They'll help you get back into it. But big, massive, ambitious bursts of activity, that is exactly the kind of thing that's going to burn you out. So stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Get into the comments on this. So if you've taken a break from your PhD and you've come back from it before, what were some of the things that were helpful for you? And if you're coming back after a break, what one easy bite-sized thing are you going to try and do this week? Are you going to use one of those sentence templates that I shared a moment ago? Are you going to take a read through something that you wrote before you went off on a break? Are you going to email your supervisor and get a meeting in the diary? Get typing, because I read and reply to all of your comments. Another thing that makes PhD come back so hard sometimes is this idea that you need to catch up. Like you need to work twice as hard now to make up for time that you've lost or wasted. And if you feel like this, I want to ask you this question. Who exactly are you trying to catch up with? The old version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore? Do you think you need to catch up with other people, people in your PhD cohort, people who've got completely different lives to you? Or what are you trying to catch up to? Have you got it in your mind that you should have completed this chapter or this other chapter by now? You should have done all your data collection by now. And you're setting this really unrealistic line in the sand that you're going to do that by the end of this year or by the end of this month. Goodness me. It's exhausting, right? So stop it. Instead of asking, how can I catch up? Ask something a little bit kinder. What does moving forward look like from here? If you spend some time rereading your research questions and reminding yourself of your aims, that's progress. If you've reread an article from your literature review and made a few scrappy notes on that, that's progress. If you've finally opened that chapter or that document that you've been avoiding, that's progress. Progress is progress. Don't let this myth of catching up take away from those small but really valuable steps that you're taking right now as you get back into it. They all count. They are all going to nudge you towards completion. Okay, let's give you some more ideas. Here are 3 super practical things that you can do to restart after a break. Firstly, the 30-minute re-entry. Set a timer for 30 minutes and just open your work, open a chapter, open an email exchange with your supervisor. Just get back into something. There's no expectation that you do anything with that just yet. There's no expectation that you finish anything or you complete anything. Just sit and read it for half an hour. Scan it, think about it, reread it. And if you feel like it, take some notes, write down some ideas. Next up, last thing, next thing. Write down the very last thing that you can remember doing before you went on your break. Then write down the next thing that you think you need to do now. That's your re-entry point. That might be one of the things that I've spoken about in this video. It might be something completely different. But make sure it's small and make sure it's manageable. And lastly, the one-page project snapshot. And what you're going to do here is summarize your project on a single page using the prompts appearing on the screen right now. This isn't for your examiner, it's not for your supervisor, it's not for anybody else, it is just for you, okay? To shrink the project back down to human size and get your mind back into it. If anything that I've said has resonated with you, you're going to love the video that's appearing on the screen right now. It's all about PhD perfectionism, what it is, why it happens, and what to do about it. So if that sounds good to you, go and take a look. I'll see you in there.